different problem types, and we actually have 2 word problems that we're going to do, and we're going to first read the first word problem, try to be able to tell what type of problem it is, and then try to solve it in a set model. And then we're going to be doing a second word problem that is very similar to the first, and then we are going to determine which problem type that one is, and then work that one as a linear model. So first we're going to work with the set model. Our word problem for that one is, Taryn has 12 kittens. She gives 8 of them to Abby. How many kittens does Taryn have now? Well, is there a change that's happening in this problem? There is, because Taryn is giving 8 kittens to Abby. So that would either tell us it's joint or separate. Well, she's taking them out. So that means that this is going to be a separate problem because we are separating 2 different groups. So our problem is going to look similar to this. We have a start, and then we have a change, and we have to find the result. So that is how we can determine that it's a separate problem. Well, our start were our 12 kittens. And so with my base 10 blocks, I'm going to show that. So here's my 110 and my 1 and 2 ones. So can you agree with me that this is 12? Yes, it is. Well, what did Taryn do? Well, she gave 8 of the kittens to Abby. So can we take 8 ones from 2 ones? No, we can't. So I have to take my 110 and I have to regroup that into 10 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so now I exchanged my 110 for 10 ones. So now I now have 12 ones. So I still have 12 kittens. So now can I take my 8 kittens out of my 12? Of course I can. So I'm going to do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So now how many kittens was I left with? I was left with 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 kittens. So now, if I were to take this out again, in my start, what would I put in there? Well, I put 12 because we started with 8 kittens. And then what would I put in my change? I would put 8 because Taryn gave 8 kittens to Abby. And then as my results, well, we just solved that one, and that is actually going to be 4 because we have 4 kittens. So that's how we were able to solve for our separate set model. So now that we figured that one out, we're going to move on to our linear model. And actually, before we get into that, let me talk about a misconception that people have with separate. People tend to believe that because I said that Taryn gave 8 kittens to Abby, just because I said that we gave 8 away, doesn't always necessarily mean that we are subtracting. We knew we were subtracting because we were given the start and we were given the change and we had to find the results. But if we were given the result and the change, we would maybe have to add in order to find our start. So that's how we knew that we were subtracting, is because we knew what subsets we had and which ones we were looking for. So now, back to our linear problem. Our problem now says Taryn has 12 kittens. If 5 of them are boys, then how many kittens are girls? Well, what problem is this going to be? Well, we're given a whole, which is 12, and we're given part of that whole, which are the 5 boys. And we have to find the other part of the whole, which will be how many kittens are girls. So because of that, this is going to be a part whole problem. And it's going to look something like this. We are given the whole right down here, and we have part A, and we have to find part B. So I'm going to get my glue stick out because I am going to use strip diagrams. So this green piece, this piece is going to be my whole. So I'm going to glue that onto my piece of paper. Alright, perfect. There is my whole. And what was my whole? Well, my whole was 12 kittens, and we'll get back to that one in a second, before we start labeling. So I know that I have 5 boys, so I'm going to use this purpley paper to represent my 5 boys. And I have to use 3 different colors because I have to show what set is my whole, what set are my boy kittens, and what set are my girl kittens. So they're my boy kittens that we have right there. And I'm going to use this pink strip to show how many girls. And it's important that I line these up perfectly because this is a linear model. Do you see how I have this piece hanging off right there? I need to cut that off because I need to make sure that this is a linear problem and that everything goes correctly or matches up correctly. There. Oops, still got that corner. It's very important to make sure that it is all equal because the pink and the purple, when I add them together, that makes my whole. Alright, so now that I have my strip diagrams glued into place, I can now start labeling. And I'm going to use a ruler in order to label because, like I said, this is a linear model. So we have to make sure that everything we do is straight and neat. So I'm going to make my little bars come up here. There's one side, 2, and I'm also going to put a line right where my pink and purple meet so I know that these are 2 different parts. Let me make this line a little bit longer. There. There. Now you can see I have my lines all at the top. So like I said, what was my green piece representing? Well, my green piece was representing my whole. Well, what is my whole? Well, my whole is actually 12 kittens. And I knew how many boy kittens I have. I had 5. And my girl kittens, I don't know. I need to figure that one out. So, what are we going to do in order to figure it out? Well, we are going to subtract. So we have 12 minus 5. You can see what I'm doing there. 12 minus 5. Well, 12 minus 5, we know that that is 7. So actually, there are 7 girl kittens.